What's up, our metal brethren of the Forge? Brandon and
Bedfo, nice to see you. Glad that you guys are here.
Welcome to Metal Forge Reviews, where you can get the most out of your metal releases. As you all know, it's the end of the month, so it's time to pick our favorite metal albums. What were some of your favorite metal records from February? Let us know in the comments below.
If you like metal content in the form of top lists, metal reviews, in the best of the metal underground, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. You don't ever want to miss one of our videos.
We're doing something new for this episode. We're trying to hit our 2,000 subscriber milestone, and to do that, we are giving away a CD of Humanity's Last Breath, Valde. For those of you who do not know this band, they are freaking awesome. Super brutal death metal, one of the most highly anticipated releases of February and one of our favorites. All you have to do to enter is hit the subscribe button, comment below, and share this video on social media. We will announce our winners on March 19th, and this contest is limited, sorry people, to US and Canada only. Hope you win.
February was a badass month full of killer albums. Let's get to our first picks. Swedish Cult of Luna are considered godfathers in the post-sludge and doom scene. For 20 years, this band has been blowing the minds of their listeners with their powerful, full-length albums like Salvation, Somewhere Along the Highway, and their 2019 release, A Dawn to Fear. This month, we have been blessed by the Cult to be immersed in their sludgy atmosphere once again. 38-minute long EP entitled The Raging River. And let me tell you, it is what the album says. There are moments on this album that are still and peaceful as you are carried along the serene portions of the raging river. But it isn't long before you're pulled into the sonic tidal pools that are the devastating riffs coming from the string players of Cult of Luna. The vocals sound like they're directly in your face. You half expect little dribbles of spit if you get close enough to your speakers. I love this record. There's nothing about it I don't like. It is perfect in every way. It is easily in a spot for becoming an album of the year for me. The Raging River gets 5 out of 5 Whitewater Rafters. Don't sleep on this record. It's amazing.
The Ruins of Beverast, the Thule Grimoires. This was released on February 5th. Everyone who knows this band and loves them knows that their previous record, Exuvia, was a complete masterpiece. I've been a huge fan of this band since that last album, so it goes without saying that when the Thule Grimoires came out, I was flooded with excitement. The Ruins of Beverast have graced us with their 7th full-length album, cursing their listeners with some of the most punishing and mystical metal records that I have heard so far this year. The Thule Grimoires experiments with some of the most atmospheric and dark compositions I've heard in a long time. It's highly original, experimenting with gothic, death, and black metal sounds to round out this forbidden journey. The choice to work with deep, clean vocals throughout the record, reminiscent of the mighty Peter Steele, and also the green hue to the album artwork and photography, all seems wonderfully familiar in that massive void that Typo Negative have left on the world. This album is full of despair, blistering evil and darkness, and feels like a reflective and somber movement to the uncharted depths of misanthropy. To say this record is trippy is an understatement. If you loved Exuvia, this album is a no-brainer if you're a big fan of Gothic Doom. I give this 4 out of 5 Grimoires. Fun thing to add here, I actually polled you guys to see what you guys thought of this record. 26% of you thought this was essential listening. 40% thought it was a great record, 4 out of 5. 23% thought it was just good. You guys are, it's not just good, it's way better than good. And 2 out of 5 thought it was onto something but needs work, and I completely disagree with that. You guys are wrong. You need new ears. Anyways, listen to this record. It's amazing.
Abomination deserves a spot here simply because it showed me what the future of Funeral Doom could be like. I chose NGR as one of the best Funeral Doom records in one of our most recent segments. Check out a clip from that video to hear my thoughts and rating on this phenomenal record. The whole record feels like you're attending a homily that is being sermonized by a trio of monks that are bearing the truth of an impending apocalypse. This album, though, is beyond engaging. It's captivating, and I have a very hard time saying that about basically any other funeral band. I'm really glad to be able to put this album on here, because the moment that I heard it, it instantly became king of the funeral doom hill in my kingdom.
Next one on my list is Revulsion, self-titled, released February 5th. Something has happened, guys. Brandon is now listening to a ton of death metal, and I'm really enjoying it. This album creeped along and hit me like a ton of bricks. Finnish-based Revulsion have released their first full-length with some of the most refreshing and catchy death metal that I have heard in the recent months. To characterize the flavor of Revulsion is difficult for me. I hear moments of Blood Red Throne, Early Decapitated, some Vader. Revulsion are just a factory of brutality and riffs. This album roars from the dungeons of wretchedness with nothing but filth, crushing riffs, blistering drums, insane growls. This is my absolute favorite kind of death metal. There is no filler of showmanship, just unrelenting brutality and catchy riffs. The band isn't afraid to sit back and embrace slower tempos, letting the grind sink into your blood as you lose yourself to the plague that is setting into your bones. Transcending Obscurity Records has shown without a doubt that they know how to pick some of the most exciting death metal bands to come out in recent years. I cannot wait to hear what these guys do next. Keep on with the rotting riffs, boys. 4 to 5 Swirling Voids.
This is yet another record that Brandon chose for his Underground Spotlight and became one of my favorites of the month. This should be of no surprise to you who have been with us for a little bit and watch our show. We are both very guilty of being big Jari Lindholm fanboys, and there's no shame in that because the dude is an absolute king in the Swedish melodic doom scene. Instrumental music has to be well composed, because it's missing the human voice, an element that most people just connect with and are drawn to. If you suck at songwriting and are trying to write an instrumental album, you're not gonna catch anyone's attention. Jari is a fantastic songwriter, and based on his work in Slumber, in Shine, Ex Genesis, I knew that this was going to be the case on Trajectories. This is a very chill album. It doesn't feel demanding. I love to throw it on while I'm studying or coding. It's just a great companion piece. Jari Lindholm's Trajectories is an outstanding melodic doom death metal instrumental album that gets 4.5 out of 5 Sun Gods.
Next one on my list is Humanity's Last Breath, Valde, released February 12th. So again, I don't know what's happened, guys. I need to preface that I don't listen to deathcore. I appreciate the genre, but it is not my thing. Of course, there are always exceptions, and yes, this is absolutely one of those exceptions. Humanity's Last Breath have released one of the most mind-blowing albums of the year. I discovered this band on my Brandon Checks Out Deathcore series, and every single track they released ahead of this monster of an album has been nothing short of brutal, devastating, and beautifully hopeless. This album has created one of the most crushingly thought-provoking and dreary soundscapes for a death metal record that I have ever heard. This is more than a deathcore album with nothing but breakdowns. Far more than that. Sure, the payoff is in there, but there are far more things to appreciate. This album is bleak, atmospheric, and nihilistic in its purest form. Composer and producer Buster Odholm of Stockholm, Sweden and Impact Studios, with his band, have created some of the most impressive and dark sonicascapes, embracing anticipation, orchestration, and other genres such as black metal in Valde. My own personal opinion, I wish the band used a different artist from the album art. No slight against Mariusz Lewandowski whatsoever. He is otherworldly and amazing. I simply think that bands are using his art far too much lately. This album is essential listening for anyone who loves atmospheric death metal. I give this record a 4.5 out of 5 Cosmic Walls.
I have been late to the party with this band, which is weird because I really love this blend of post-hardcore and black metal, as you could probably tell by my Svalbard pick from last year. Floating above my head right now should be an info card that will guide you to our in-depth review video of Maere. I encourage you to check that out. But to summarize my overall thoughts, they are doing something incredibly honest, and we definitely connect with that here. My biggest turnoffs were the runtime. 2 songs probably could have been cut from this record, and it still would have been 2 things: incredible and an hour-ish in runtime. At the end of the day, this is a timeless album, and so far, one of my favorites of the year. Maere gets 4.5 out of 5 Lonely Wanderers.
Last one on my list is Maestitium, Tale of the Endless, released February 5th. Here we go. We can't have an album of the month list without a sad boy metal release. I love discovering new bands, and Maestitium is a perfect example of musicians that I have a ton of respect for. Composer and producer Elias Westren created Tale of the Endless as actually a school project, taking classes in music production, so this album is essentially the most metal homework of all time. Honestly, if you love bands like Insomnium and Wolfheart, you have to check out this EP. Tales of the Endless delivers masterful songwriting and production, and as a musician and producer myself, I have nothing but high respect for Elias releasing this monster of a release. There's experimentation outside the typical tropes of melodic death doom, featuring catchy clean vocal hooks, synths, and other orchestrations supporting the killer metal riffing. Another pleasant surprise I found with Tale of the Endless is that Elias is also a huge fan of black metal, given the blast beats used in sections of the EP. Huge fan of that. Nice job, dude. The wide range of influences are utilized fluidly throughout the compositions and honestly make this EP really special. I've been spinning it all month since it came out. I hope we hear more from Maestitium. The folks at Black Lion Records found something really special here. Check out some of the other bands on their roster if you like bands in this vein. I give this album 4 out of 5. Frozen Mountains. What albums did you love from February? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to enter into the giveaway. Remember, all you have to do is comment on this video, subscribe, and share this video on social media.
Thank you for doing all those things. Go with the gods, Forge mates. We'll see you in the crypts.
Our voices